An alligator is arrested in Florida. The world's most expensive grilled cheese is back, and Furbies are planning for world domination. All this and more on this week's episode of Hawk TV News.
Hello all, and welcome to the Graveyard Shift of Hawk TV News. It's 2 a.m. I'm Derek.
And I'm Jack. Tampa police officers were called into town due to a reported disturbance, yet no one was found behaving in a disorderly manner. The ruckus was caused by a 9-foot alligator running down a street not so far from Raymond James Stadium, the home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The gator whipped its tail several times when officers first approached it. 6 officers, as well as a crowd of spectators, watched as lights from squad cars blocked off the street. With one officer outstretching his hands and another weighing down the alligator, a third officer was able to tape together its mouth, legs, and handcuff it. The wild animal will now be doing time off the streets of Florida.
A local jogger in Maine called the Farmington Police Department to report an injury caused by an angry cow. The assault, which occurred on April Fool's Day, had to be continuously enforced by the woman that was being assaulted, that it was in fact not an April Fool's Day prank. The 43-year-old woman was preparing to go on a jog on the Worcester Stop Trail when she was charged by the cow that had escaped from a farm. The animal lifted her off the ground with its horns and caused cuts that required stitches. The animal was later brought back and returned to its owner. Pretty funny because from what I heard, it's mating season for those cows, so probably thought she was a heifer.
That's for sure. The New York Museum, home of the World Video Game Hall of Fame, just announced that it is installing a 20-foot Donkey Kong arcade cabinet in hopes that it will be deemed the largest in the world. The Strong National Museum of Play in Rochester announced on social media that the machine will be 370% than the original, yet will still be available for guests to play. The cabinet is planned to be 20 feet tall and will beat out the prior record holder, a 16-foot tall Tetris cabinet. The machine is scheduled to make its debut on June 30th.
A giant red spoon that had been stolen from an Arizona Dairy Queen was found Monday morning thanks to the popular iPhone game Pokemon Go. 52 years old and still playing Pokemon Go. Good for you, Michael Foster. Was outside playing the mobile game when he found the 15-foot spoon lying on the ground in the middle of a nearby middle school baseball field, just 2 miles from the scene of the crime. Foster's first thoughts was, it's a spoon, probably much like the thoughts he had when his mother chased him with a spoon as a child. Pokemon Go at 52. But detectives are still searching for the culprit.
We have to take a short break, but stay tuned for more Hawk TV news.
Yuba City Police Department, located in Yuba City, California, get out, I thought it was in Timbuktu, has hired their newest officer. The wellness officer, Percy, has been promoted to the ranks just days before Easter. So what makes Percy so special? Well, he's a rabbit. His role in the police department includes supporting all and hopping around. The Easter Bunny was asked for comment but refused to speak on the subject. Pretty funny they're bringing rabbits into the police department. It's probably likely because they can't train their actual police officers.
They also have pigs there too, so.
Oh, it's like a whole farm.
Yeah. Deemed one of the creepiest toys from the 90s, the dead-eyed robot Furby toys are continuing to live on 25 years later. The toy, which released in 1998, used a combination of software and sensors to pick up and develop new behaviors over time. These tools allowed the robots to communicate in its own language before picking up some simple English terms. However, the advancement of technology has seemed to unlock the true potential of the Furby. University of Vermont student Jessica Card shared a clip of her robot, which she synced to the online artificial intelligence software known as ChatGPT. After some brief questions, the Furby admitted that, quote, the Furby's plan to take over the world involves infiltrating households through their cute and cuddly appearance, then using their advanced AI technology to manipulate and control their owners, unquote. We advise you to be on the lookout, as the true potential of the Furby may be unleashed in the future.
Egyptian swimmer Shihab Allah. Is Shihab the name or the pronouns? Regardless, put his skills to the test as he broke the Guinness World Record for when he swam 7 miles while simultaneously wearing handcuffs. The 31-year-old took the title for farthest distance swimmer in these conditions, once completed 7.24 miles in the open water of the Arabian Gulf. The previous record was held by U.S. swimmer Benjamin Katzman, which was set in 2021 after he swam 5.3 miles. Alam took only 6 hours to complete and was hoping to break his own record one day. That's pretty funny because I can only last 6 seconds in handcuffs.
Kinky. New York eatery Serendipity 3 announced it was bringing back a $214 grilled cheese for National Grilled Cheese Day last week. The sandwich has been dubbed the world's most expensive sandwich by Guinness World Records when it debuted in 2014. This recognition added to the already existing world records held by the restaurant, as they already had most expensive fries and most expensive milkshake on the list. The sandwich that is toasted and gilded with 23-karat edible gold must be ordered 48 hours in advance.
The long-extinct woolly mammoth seems to have had a renaissance in the culinary arts world. The Australian snack company known as Vow has produced a meatball made from the recreated flesh of the long-gone animal. The balls, which are made of flesh grown from the cells of the woolly mammoth, are part of a company's aim to use cells from these unconventional species to produce new kinds of meat. There are reasoning for using woolly mammoth, and it is due to the animal's symbol of diversity and climate change. This is all because they died after the ice caps melted during the Ice Age. It's pretty funny because people say climate change isn't real.
I don't know, that movie Ice Age was pretty cool.
You know what? I do like that squirrel. He could fit a couple nuts in his mouth. How many woolly mammoth balls do you think he could fit in his mouth?
2 at least.
I think he'd easily get 4.
Interesting. A moose was on the loose as state troopers, wildlife officials, and members of the public came together in Alaska to conquer a wild moose chase. It occurred on the ice-covered Chena River. Local resident Gary Neese told officials that he looked out his window and spotted the animal stuck on the ice in the Fairbanks area on Sunday. A team of state troopers worked with other first responders and tied ropes to the moose in an attempt to remove it from the ice. After a safe rescue mission, the state troopers wished the moose a happy Easter on their official Facebook page.
Now, we're preparing for a short little break, and I know it's 2 a.m., but I think you're going to want to stay awake for this weather update.
Welcome to the weather, the best weather show here at Monmouth University. It's 2:15 a.m. You need to know the weather because you're too afraid to go outside because you don't like the dark because you're 4 years old. I'm taking you up to the northeast of America right now. Maine, it's cold because it's Maine. Massachusetts, it's racist. Moving on, Vermont, New Hampshire, no one really cares about those states. New York itself, it's upstate, no one actually lives there. New York City's a brisk 65 right now, a little windy, nice cool, spring day. New Jersey was hot. It was hotter than California, 80 degrees. I was on the golf course, 89 degrees. I shot terrible, but that's neither here nor there. We're going to move to the West Coast now in California. Looking like California, high of 65 today. They're lucky over there. They got high taxes. They'll be all right. Nevada, home of Las Vegas, my favorite place on earth. Make sure to check out Bellagio next time you're there for a Jacobs Room, the best poker playing anywhere in Nevada. Moving on to Oklahoma, that's a picture of Kansas. It's all really kind of the same thing. Now it's Indiana. I mean, does anyone live in these places? There's just tornadoes, corn, and the occasional meth house. Other than that, we go up to Wisconsin. Wisconsin, it's where the Packers play. No one really likes the Packers. I just did that for Brian because I don't like Brian Durr. The Packers are better than the Bears, neither here nor there. It's cold because it's Wisconsin and they have winter all year round. We're going to go up to Canada now. Let's go over to Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan is a city in Saskatchewan, but did you know the capital of Saskatchewan? It's Regina. I swear to God. The capital right now, Regina, it's snowing because... moving on across the pond, we have the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom, it's always rainy because it sucks over there. It rains every single day. Who wants to live in the United Kingdom? They talk funny, they have terrible food, they care about football. It's the wrong football. American football is better. Down south, we have Australia, the down south of British. It's basically the southern British, but neither here nor there. Again, it's about 114 degrees. It's a mild summer day there. Again, it's Australia. Did you really expect anything else? We now go to the Democratic Republic of the Congo. As you can see, it's been raining for the last 14 days with high temperatures of 87 degrees Celsius. I know, I am not making this up. It is 87 Celsius and raining in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. I don't know how they're still alive. I don't know this country. Gibraltar, it's a tax haven. If you go to Gibraltar, there is 0% income tax on anything you do there. Any business you have cannot get taxed by any foreign government as long as you are not a current resident, but your business is listed there. Just a fun fact for you should know. That's my house. How'd you get that? Oh, okay. This is actually, I don't think we should air this. No, that's Texas. No one really cares. No, that's Kansas. We've already talked. Oh, here we go. This is a fantastic map right here. Right now, we have the map of the best state in the union, Pennsylvania. As you can see, there is nothing going on in Pennsylvania. No clouds, no high temperatures. It's just 54 degrees. That's about as good as Pennsylvania as you can get. 54, no sun, no clouds, blah. And that's going to do it for this week's weather. I hope you're enjoying your 2/18 now weather update. See you next week, because I won't be here.
Can I get a refill? Oh, we're live. Go. Welcome back.
Mechanical engineers at Columbia University have 3D printed the first edible object of its kind. The slightly odd-looking cheesecake was made of edible food ink and has multiple layers, including peanut butter, strawberry, and banana. The dessert also featured frosting, cherry drizzle, and a graham cracker base. After only 30 minutes of printing, the cheesecake was ready to eat. It was said that different flavors hit the taste palate at different times, which some compared to Willy Wonka's 3-course dinner chewing gum. The team behind the dessert believes 3D printing of food may improve food safety and allow more people to choose nutritional content.
One person's cellmate is another person's soulmate. Kim Eichenberger from Jijibaba Soft, Switzerland, facilitated a prison pen pal with an American inmate, William McCartney, through the website writeaprisoner.com. Write that down, I'll be on there later. The two quickly became infatuated with one another, eventually meeting in a prison after months of writing. This sounds like a rom-com. During their first and only meeting, McCartney asked Kim Eichenberger to marry him while the prison guards watched. Ooh. However, the newly engaged couple will have to wait for this wedding until his release in October of this year. It's pretty funny. Seems they wait longer than Mormons.
Interesting thought, Derek. Jack Paul Slowstar of Somerville, South Carolina, earned the Guinness World Record for the longest mustache on a living person. The 2-foot 1-inch whiskers were verified at the National Beard and Mustache Championships in Casper, Wyoming, before being sent for official verification. Slowstar wears an English-style mustache, defined by officials as beginning from the middle of the upper lip with the long, slender hairs pulled to the side. The tips of the stash may be lifted slightly, depending on how he's feeling. The king of facial hair has rocked his mustache for 30 years.
Man in Connecticut believes he holds the world record for having the largest collection of Crocs. He gets laid. 32-year-old Dougie-Lish Sand Tiger, sounds like his D&D name, has collected over 2,000 pairs of the iconic rubber shoe. His first pair were purchased when he was only 16. He's been collecting for quite some time. The Croc King says there are many things he could say about his shoes, but to sum it all up, they're fun, comfortable, and so stylish. That's questionable. He wears several pairs of slip-ons a day. He probably keeps a wardrobe on him, as well as using them for home decor. That's interesting. Sounds like something Brian Durr would do.
You'll get to meet him later. 5-year-old Lila Nunes ordered nearly $4,000 worth of motorcycle and cowboy boots on her mother's Amazon account. Yeehaw! Jessica Nunes of Westport, Massachusetts, thought her daughter was just playing games on her phone during a drive home, only discovering the purchases hours later. Lila had spent exactly $3,922 on items, including 5 pink dirt bikes, 5 blue dirt bikes, 10 pairs of women's size 7 cowgirl boots, and a battery-powered child-sized Jeep. Her mother was able to cancel all of the orders except for the Jeep, which later arrived at her home. Lila's defense was that she just wanted the stuff, so she got it.
That sounds like a woman who knows what she wants. Although the city's baseball team may have lost over the weekend. That was written by Jake. Philadelphia found a victory through a man with a strong passion for rotisserie chicken. Alexander Tompkison has deemed the Chicken Man by the city has become a viral sensation after posting a flyer inviting people to watch him eat a rotisserie chicken in one sitting. Tompkinson has documented his meal every day online for the past 39 days, with the 40th rotisserie chicken causing a bigger crowd than usual. Dozens of people showed up to watch him cheering, "Chicken Man," as he ate his last bite. Say what you will about Philadelphia, but you can't say they don't support their heroes. You know, I haven't seen cities really come together like that since Washington, D.C. on January 6th.
Yeah, man, I mean, PA loves Rocky.
They do.
A Reddit user was heartbroken when he discovered that his beautiful girlfriend he met online was actually an artificial intelligence creation known as Claudia. Screen name Legal Beagle 1996 says he felt quite cheated as he was salivating over Claudia's glamorous selfies on the platform. He described her as pretty sexy and perfect. However, the girl of his dreams turned out to be two computer science students conducting a study to see if AI-generated images could fool people. It seems their hypothesis was correct.
You know, the least that they could do is just take the guy on a date.
I know.
You know, after that,
You owe him that.
shallow, truly. As of Wednesday, the Supreme Court is now involved in a riveting case between Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey and VIP dog toys. VIP has been accused of copying Jack Daniel's signature whiskey bottle for their own commercial. A squeaky toy called Bad Spaniels. The question for the court involves whether the brand infringed on the trademark bottle. Both companies were in their best behavior, not cracking at the poop humor and puns. However, the judge remains silent as there are no clear answers after the argument. You know, the one thing I could say about that is it's not the worst thing someone's done while drinking Jack Daniels.
True that. We now send it to Brian Durr with an update on global sports.
Good evening. In Swat, England, Riki Pawe and Nick Hornstein of New Zealand won the 13th annual egg throwing championship. The sport consists of a team of two players throwing an egg as far as possible to the other person catching the egg. The distance of the winning throw is unknown, but the world record is held by Pawe and Chris Richards with a 93.6 meter throw over 300 feet. Sticking with New Zealand, a team of Kiwi Knights are preparing to compete in the International Medieval World Championship. The fighters will compete in full armor and shields, with the competition set to be next Thursday in Scotland. Heading over to Japan, where in Volleyball All-Star Game, players Yu Yamamoto and Takayuki Takamatsu broke out into a shoving match that ended with a kiss on the lips between the two competitors. How sweet. While some believe it was an act of sportsmanship, many think it was a skit between the two friends, planned out before the start of the match. Earlier this week at Minnesota Timberwolves game, a halftime performance by rapper Ja Rule was cut short due to multiple sound issues, and by the time he started his performance, opposing players were already warming up for the second half. Ja Rule took to Twitter after the game to say that the Timberwolves will not win a championship for the next 30 years, and Karl Anthony Towns is leaving the team after this season. We'll see if the curse continues tomorrow night as the Timberwolves host the Oklahoma City Thunder in tomorrow's 8th seed playing game. Now on to the upcoming 2023 draft with not only the 5 best overall players, but the players with the best names in the draft. At number 5, we have Sidy Sow, offensive lineman out of Eastern Michigan. The 6'5" Sow is projected as a high 3rd round pick with high potential. At number 4, we have Henry To'o, linebacker of the University of Alabama. Remind you of Manti Te'o, anyone? Let's hope this guy doesn't have a fake girlfriend. The Hawaii native ran a 4.62 40-yard dash at last month's NFL Combine, and his name will likely be called in either the 3rd or 4th round of the draft. Let's see if they get it right. At 3, we have Juice Scruggs, offensive lineman out of Penn State. That guy's got the juice. Whoever wrote my script did a terrible job because this sentence does not make sense. But Scruggs is going to be a great offensive lineman. Just keep scrolling the teleprompter, guys. I don't know who wrote this, but he's got plenty of juice in his game, elite athleticism, and will likely hear his name. Keep scrolling, Jesus! I passed that part. Just keep going. He's going to be a sleeper and late in the draft. At 2, I don't need this spelled out for me. It's Adetomiwa Adebawore, defensive lineman out of Northwestern. He's a projected second-round pick. He's sneaking into the first. We all know it. And he could be an interesting pronunciation for Roger Goodell to come out on draft night. He's out of Northwestern. He's got inside-outside versatility. He's a good player. But number 1, we have Tank Bigsby. Why is that the number 1 name? We have Tank Dell. He's a wide receiver. But the running back out of Auburn is a strong running back. I think that Tank Dell would have been funnier to put here because he's literally like 5'7", and he's not a tank at all. But whatever you guys want to do. Hopefully he'll be a tank someday in the NFL. But yeah, that's it. With your sports news, I'm Brian Durr. Back to the other guys in the other studio. With food, like it doesn't mention food once.
And that's going to do it for the 2 a.m. grave shift here at Hawk TV News. I'm Derek.
And I'm Jack. And go to sleep.